Welcome back to the Mindful Presenter Truth Series. Truth 46. Every presentation should be memorable. Every presentation should be memorable. We ask that question in every workshop, one-to-one coaching session that we run. We ask everybody if they agree that every presentation should be memorable. When we ask it, most people give us that look. You know that look, as if to say, what a dumb question, what a stupid question. Of course every presentation should be memorable. We then follow that question up, having got agreement, by saying, okay, I'd like you to now cast your mind back to the most recent presentation that you attended, sat through, not gave yourself, as an audience member. What do you remember from that presentation, given that you've agreed that it should be memorable? When we ask people what they remember from their most recent presentation, it's normally silence, complete silence. Or people say not very much. Or they'll tell us the bad things they remember. Most people don't remember. It's a shame, and isn't it ironic? Because we agree, again, intellectually, that presentations should be memorable. Otherwise, what's the point? It doesn't make sense. It takes so much time, effort, and energy. For a presentation to be memorable, truly memorable, it has to have purpose. That sounds obvious, but it's not so much when I explain it to you, because purpose in this context is an acronym. Most businesses we work with like acronyms, so we have a couple ourselves. Purpose is this. The P stands for the primacy effect. Please don't let that put you off. That's just a fancy way of saying that you give people information, it's highly likely that they will remember something that comes primary, early on, the primacy effect. That's all it means. That's why our opening is so important. We've talked about that in a previous truth, and I'm sure we'll come back to it. But the primacy effect, because people are going to remember it anyway, so make it big, make it impactful. Aligned to that, I just didn't want to ruin the acronym, is what's called the recency effect. Something that came more recently, i.e. the close. People will remember the close too. That's why it's so important that both of those stand out. The U is unusual. If you accept the crude premise that far too many business presentations are very, very similar in so many respects, everybody's crying out for something different, and they will remember you and your presentation. If there are elements within both that are unusual, different, that stand out, make yours different. The R stands for repetition. Repetition is the mother of learning. Now, I'm not talking about just repeating oneself for the sake of repeating oneself, because that's called waffling. A lot of presenters do that too. I'm talking about having clarity, absolute clarity of our message, and making sure that we repeat that 1, 2, 3, 4 times in a presentation. People will remember it if you repeat it. The P, the second P, is people will remember anything that's personal to them. We live in that world. What's in it for me? Everything we say, everything we show, everything we do has to be personal in some way, shape or form to our audience. And I promise you they'll remember it. If it's not personal, it's noise. The O is for open. People will remember presenters that are open verbally, open non-verbally, eye contact, body language, open in terms of giving our audience a glimpse of the real them, the real human being behind all this data and information. We call it self-disclosure, being open. The S is for stories. People will remember stories, short, relevant, compelling stories all day long. We talked about that in a previous truth, where I said that a presentation without stories is a lecture. Do you remember? And the E is so powerful. People will remember presenters and presentations with energy and enthusiasm. That's the one thing I can't teach, coach, give you. You have to find it. You have to tune into it. Purpose. Remember that acronym. If you want to know more, check out our website or give us a call. Every presentation should be memorable. Thank you.